All right. Hello, 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 hello. We're being recorded. We're going live. We're having fun. Me and my man, J-Ton B. Gunter out in California, eh? And I'm right here in St. Louis. Always having fun in the Midwest, although it is hot in September. How is it out there, my man, Jay?
It's actually perfect. It's like a perfect 70 degrees. I mean, it's California, right? Like it's more depending on where you're at. We have a lot of microclimates, but depending on where you're at, I'm in the Bay Area, East Bay, and it's like a perfect 70 degrees with like a slight breeze. It's a perfect day to be out on a picnic or something like that. It's really beautiful out here. What's going
It's
on with
really
you, man? How
beautiful
you
and
doing?
sunny out. It's beautiful and sunny out here too. It's just a little bit hotter. I pulled up my phone just now and it said 73 degrees, but that was still this morning's weather. It's 90 degrees right now.
Man, that's such a jump, man. That's such a huge jump from 70. Wow.
I know it's like you like that for your vineyards and stuff like that and growing conditions, but I'll tell you what, it's a little different when you're going from jeans to shorts and not exactly sure what to wear. You're wearing sweaters indoors, and then you come outside and you're like sweating your butt off. It's crazy,
You gotta have
but it's
backups in
good
the car,
stuff.
bro.
I
Backup
know
close
we do. It's crazy fun stuff. So we're talking about Argentine foods and wines that just pair well together. Now, there's all kinds of things that do that, but the one I chose today, I found mine at Costco, and I did a couple reels if you saw that on some other things. But Jenny and I are sipping on this one here in the Missouri area, and this was interesting. So, little fun facts: this was about 110 hectare vineyard, and it's kind of a dusty area, so it has a lot of those desert qualities, if you will. And it's I'm like, well, how big is a hectare? No idea. It's about 2.5 acres is what it is.
okay.
Being a former real estate guy, I thought everybody should know that. Nobody really cares except people growing wine and wanting more hectares for their vineyards. But I did find this, and what's been neat about it is it was very approachable. Now, usually when I think of Argentine wines, there's the other one in Costco, which is the Kirkland Malbec. Right?
Hold on. So
And
that's a Malbec too?
this is also a Malbec. This is actually a 2017. So I thought that was really neat. It wasn't ridiculously overpriced. I think it was still sub $15 a bottle. But then when you jump right into it, I've been nosing this. We've been nosing these things for a good 20 minutes now. And Jenny was spot on with her description. She's like, I get jelly and jammy and yeah, right, ripe berries and plummy and just all kinds of wonderful. I got real mellow nose on it, and it's just, oh wow, I want to jump right into it. But now, and we started talking about food, and I was just making myself hungry, even though I had recently eaten lunch. I'm like, going, oh man, what would I want to eat with this stuff? Because you and I love doing that, figuring
Yeah,
out what
that's
do we
what we're
want
all
to
about.
eat.
Yeah, it's all about that. It's the marriage of food and wine, bro.
I know, right? It's like you should do a magazine or a TV station or channel about that stuff. And we certainly do. But what's fun about this one is it's real approachable. It's not like over the top nose where you're going to go, I don't know if I'm going to like that. It is higher alcohol. It's
Okay.
14.5%. And I also got that a little bit on the nose, but I did
Mhm.
have a sip. So a little bit on the palate as well.
Okay.
Mm.
So Malbec tends to there's so many different styles of Malbec out of Argentina. Everybody thinks about just Mendoza, the heavy-handed, bold ones, but there's out of Salsa, they're more delicate. Patagonia, they're a little bit more delicate. What kind of is this one? Is this one has a little bit more acid, or is it more of like a bolder style of Malbec?
This has a little more acid on it.
Okay.
So I'm liking it. I definitely I do want some meat now. I've been thinking about the skirt steak that I had the other day at this it's
Mhm.
really an Argentine South American restaurant, and probably one of the best skirt steaks that I've had. And oh my gosh, it was just prepared so well. And I would love to have a wine like this paired with that type of meat where you don't need, people always think of chimichurri and that nice little punch of flavor with the cilantro and fresh parsley. And how I know everybody has their own little secret recipe. Uh,
Mhm.
but that steak was prepared so well. The sauce was a nice addition to it, but you
Mhm.
didn't need it, especially with a wine like this. It's really just gonna enhance both the meat and all the foods you're enjoying with it. And that's what's not just this Malbec, but a lot of great Argentine wines that I've been saying Argentinian,
Yeah,
but somebody
that's okay.
in the background corrected us.
Gotta love her.
That's Jenny, who, for people who don't know.
She
So,
keeps
but what?
going fast.
Let's see. What other descriptors should I get on this? Jay, I always love you following me because you have so many more descriptors. You're kind of describing that wine. I'm like going, oh my gosh, I better think of some more stuff on this. But
Well, Malbec is, like I said, it's so different. It's such a, I like Malbec because it's a great reflection of the land that it's being grown in, like the climate and, the terroir. And I believe, which one is that out of Mendoza?
I believe it was, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So Mendoza tends to be a little bit more bold, although some winemakers do try to put more of a delicate hand on it and want it to be a little bit more of a food friendly. Let's be honest, most Malbecs are really good with food, regardless, because they have enough acidic backbone to give it some structure. But some of them are bolder than others. And I believe with Mendoza, if that one has a little bit more acid, that means the winemaker is a good winemaker. To me, that's what it means to me. It means they have a delicate hand. They're trying to bring out other things in the wine as opposed to just that smack you in the face with flavor type of Malbec that we're so used to out of Mendoza. With the flavor profile, I'm curious, are you getting more blue? Because another thing with Malbec is you normally get black and blue fruit. Is that what you're getting more of than like on that Malbec? Are you getting like a lot of black and blue fruit, or is it just red and
Good question. I'm getting more of the red.
Interesting. Oh, so that is definitely a different type of Malbec. One of the descriptors in Malbec when you're blind tasting is it tends to lean more towards black and blue fruit, and even sometimes purple like plum. So that's really cool that this one is more on the red side. I'm wondering where what soil is, the composite of the soil, where it's coming from, because that would explain some of that for me.
I was reading up on the winery, and it's I might be butchering this, but Romolinos, and I think that was for tumbleweed. Okay. So it's this dry area. The elevation's, I think, up to 3,500. But what was neat about it was they were just talking about all the terroir and just how all the vineyard owner really put a lot of thought and energy into it since 2014 with their newer winemaker, and it's really coming through. I mean, it's I get a little bit of the plum, but it's not like that dark. You have some where you're like going, oh, I know just by sipping on this and not looking at my tongue yet, I'm going to have a real dark tongue afterwards. This one, not so much. It's a lighter, on the lighter side. That's where I'm getting more of the red fruit and plummy, but more of a closer to a fresh picked plum than something that's got some age on it or anything like that.
Gotcha. So not stewed or cooked type of plum. More
no,
like fresh, right? Sorry,
that's right.
Right plum.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, it's the more I have letting this open up, it's definitely mellowed out a bit and lightened up a bit for a Malbec. And it's like, oh yeah, you can still do it with a variety of different foods. I'm just thinking of steak, but I mean, man, any type of yummy something on the grill would be lovely with this. High protein, anything.
I've been noticing a lot with Malbec. So I'm gonna get killed for this from my people out in Argentina. This is a hot take. That's something. But I've been noticing lately that a lot of California Malbecs, before they couldn't hold a candle to Argentina, but I'm gonna go out and say a lot of them consistency wise have been better than a lot of the Argentine
there you go.
that I've had in the last, I would say 6-7 months. And I kind of want to do like a versus battle between the two. I think I may do that because I want to take one of the top ones out of Argentina and then one of the top ones out of California and go head to head and see which one who taps out. Because I don't know, man. Like I'm a huge Malbec fan and I've always been into Argentina Malbec, but man, California's been kind of killing the game with their Malbec lately. I've been tasting a lot of good ones.
Well, I mean, just that's another industry trend. It's like we're getting all these global conglomerates that are coming in, or certainly growers, and not even conglomerates. Just like, hey, we're from France. We want to go. Let's go to South America. Let's do, Spain to South America. Let's do Germany to South America. Even into the United States. It's like we have all this growing technology. What is it that they want to produce?
Yeah.
And really, I don't know if it's catering towards the market or just enhancing the wine experience, because it seems like there are all these different varietals coming out from places. It's like, oh, you wouldn't think about that.
Yeah, we got microclimates out here. So it's like different places go different places.
What was the here was the fun fact was, a lot of wine was saved because of Missouri, as you know. It's like, grafting of the vines and the blight in France. And, then it's like, so we can kind of claim some wine heritage. And because we went out to California. Now, it might be better out in California and better back in France now, but just somewhere in the point, we saved it.
You did. I mean, I think there was we had to use other root stock out here for certain vineyards too, you know what I mean? Because phylloxera was kicking everybody's butt. So yeah, crazy I get it. Crazy stuff. So I guess I should probably talk about what I got.
What do you have? Now, we have Malbec. A lot of people know that, but what are you drinking?
So before I tell you the grape, let me tell you a little bit about Argentina. So we to our Argentina peoples out there and educate a little bit. Argentina wine, kind of the first clippings got brought over to Argentina from Spain, of course, like a lot of the cuisine there. It was originally from Spain in 1557, so like mid 1500s. They were more thought of as quantity as opposed to quality. So they were like they're already kind of a massive growing region. They were making a lot of wine, but keeping it in house. They weren't even exporting it at all. And then right around the 1990s, like early 1990s, that's when they started wanting to make higher quality wine so that they can export it to different places. And so that's what kind of started the whole thing with Argentinian wine, like their style of winemaking. But they've been growing since the 1500s. Malbec got over there probably around, I would say, 1800. And then my grape that I'm dealing with today, which is Cabernet Franc, which is the pop to Cabernet, one of the grapes that kind of originated Cabernet Sauvignon. That is one of the grapes that actually came over in 1990 in Argentina, having roots from France, which specifically the Loire Valley, which is known for really, really great Cabernets, such as regions like Chinon out of Loire Valley. So just a little education for you guys to know a little bit about Cabernet Franc, how long it's been in Argentina. It is some of the regions that everybody looks for when you're looking at labels from Argentina. Tends to be, of course, Mendoza. Everybody knows Mendoza. Salta. There's also Patagonia. They're known for really, really nice, delicate wines. And then one of the other ones is La Rioja. There's another one that makes outstanding red wine over there. And everybody knows about the Malbec that you got over there, but the white grapes that they tend to go for a lot, the one that is like kind of the main one, is Torrontés, which is a really kind of aromatic, kind of spice and flowers and things of that nature type of white wine. It's a little bit more medium to medium plus weight, and it's a wonderful wine, especially with certain types of cuisine. So with all that said, let's get into the wine.
Get right into it, as you will.
I am sipping on, or going to be tasting, the Moscata Vineyard La Moscata Cabernet Franc 2018 out of Mendoza. Hope you guys can. There we go. So you guys can see that. And Cabernet Franc. And so let's get into the nose. So I'm just letting you know already before I even get into the nose. I haven't smelled this. This thing has changed quite a bit since the first time I opened up this bottle. So let's get into it. So I get black tar. I get like this. I get like violets going on here, like floral violets. I get some olive. I get some spice, like this herbal green herbs and a little bit of like cardamom spice. Definitely like old mitt, old leather mitt. Some black pepper here too. So this is already kind of a beast on the nose with the complexity. This is a lot going on here. A lot actually. There's a bit of nutmeg here too. And I haven't even talked about the fruits. Let's talk about the fruits. There's like, I'm definitely getting blueberries, perfectly ripe black cherry, some plum, a little bit of plum on the skin, so you get a little bit of the tartness of the skin here too. And then lastly, a little bit of coffee grounds. Let's see if everything's translating to the palate. I just went through a whole bunch of stuff, as you noticed. There's a lot of stuff going on in this wine, man. I'm glad I picked up this bottle. Let's see if everything's translating to the palate. Mm. Mm. This is absolutely delicious. So you're getting on the nose, you would think it's going to be a lot more richer than it is, but it's not. It's actually very light on the feet, on the palate. You still get some of that lush fruit that I was talking about up front. The black pepper I was talking about goes more to a green pepper on the palate. I'm catching that on the back end on the finish. Mid palate, you're getting those coffee grounds. You're getting some of those earthy components I was talking about. A little bit of herb kick in the mid palate to the finish. Acid is medium to medium plus. So this is almost a medium plus for like a Cabernet, like a Bordeaux varietal, which you don't normally get. You normally get like right in the realm of about medium acid with them. Tannin is medium. That's also tips on the medium to medium plus line too. I'm starting to get like raspberry up front too that I wasn't catching before, like a little bit of red raspberry. Outstanding wine, fruit basket wine, wine that I think is going to go well with a lot of the foods out there, a lot of the cuisines. Argentina is known for their beef, as you were talking about. They're known for like the highest quality cuts of beef. And I see this one going with a nice little ribeye. I think this goes good with a skirt steak, like you were talking about with the chimichurri. Reason being is because of the herbs, the green herbs that are going on in this wine. I think it just will enhance it and kind of elevate the food quite a bit. There's also another dish that they dig out there is chorizo. I think this will go good with like sausage chorizo, blood sausage. They do a lot of. This would kill with that. I really, really dig this wine by itself or pairing it with food. This wine's a winner. Period. That's it. I mean, that's all I can say about this wine. It's a winner. I got it from Total Wine for $18, and I'm sorry, for $14, and it's worth more than that. It's punching way above its weight class. I would say this is more of a $20-25 bottle of wine.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, man, I'm really digging this wine. I'm actually gonna pour me a little bit more.
Well, you're pouring yourself some more. You know, when you were giving those descriptors, I was nosing my wine again, and you know, at first when you said black tar, I'm like, oh, I actually kind of picked that up here, but not in a bad way. Like, you know, it's like not like asphalt where they just did it. And it's like it's in your face and may giving you a headache, but it's like, oh no, there's like that subtle remnants of something that's like just kind of drying out at the end. And you know, while we are drinking different wines, is that like a characteristic of, you know, the overall region, perhaps, or and then you know, even the transition where he said more from a black pepper to a green pepper, that was a real neat thing for me too, because I'm like going, oh yeah, what's the spice in this wine that's similar but different, and I'm still getting a nice floral bouquet. I don't get the pepperiness, which I do in a lot of other Malbecs, but wow, it's great. It's always having these dialogues, right? It's like, you know, it's like, well, what is in my wine? What is in this juice? By golly.
By golly. I love it. Also,
hey,
to be more
you look like we need wine.
Hey, and we're drinking it.
We're doing it.
To be more specific, I'll even go away from the black tar and be more specific. I'm getting kind of like a more of a graphite, like a wet graphite type of thing jumping out of the glass. So it's more, instead of the tar, it's more on the graphite side of things for me on this nose. This is a really, really good wine. It, I mean, we've had some good ones. We've had some okay wines. This one's really, really good. I'm digging it quite a bit.
I'm liking this one
that
too.
green.
I mean, it's almost gone. I did pour myself a full glass, so.
I had to pour myself a little bit more to make sure I was on point, man. Let me see here. Yeah, we need to do this more. I think going forward, we should definitely do I like the idea of like doing region specific areas of wine in the world and talking about the cuisine from there and like the wines matching. So I think this is I am enjoying this episode talking about something. I now want to go outside and give me like a nice little go to an Argentine restaurant and get like a big old slab of beef and grab this bottle and go kill it.
I know, right? Well, and that's what we're setting up in St. Louis, and I'd love to do it out in California too, especially with you. Is doing these fun pairings and tastings. It's like, what kind of food could we do this with and have multitude of wines, right? That's one of the things I love. Is just even Cooper's Hawk, which I don't believe is in California yet, but it's it's a chain of their own wine. But what's even fun about that, it's going to a tasting room, right? It's tasting a bunch of different things, figuring out what goes with what. And man, that's half the fun for me. It's figuring out, it's like, what am I going to enjoy with this?
One of these days we'll have the budget so that me and you could like set up our own little cooking, food and wine show, and we could travel to all these different places and we could just talk about the food and the wine and get paid a bunch of money to do it.
I don't know if I'm going to have to do more real estate stuff first, or I can just figure out how to do it with wine first, but that's okay. It's all right.
I'm going to sell books. I'm going to sell books and I'm going to help us out.
Got to sell a lot of books, man. A lot of t-shirts. T-shirts are for sale if you want to help us out, people.
Yeah, check them out.
Denny's coming up with some new designs, so we total wino it up even better.
Yes, sir. So,
yes,
I mean,
so I see Jenny
out,
in the background. She's like, talk about the shirt, show off our merchandise. Look, people will buy our merchandise because it's cool. They will just buy it. We don't have to promote it. It promotes itself.
We just really want you guys to kind of join our community, man. Like we're doing this for the love right now. We're totally enjoying just like the conversation about wine, and we hoping you guys are out there enjoying it with us. Please hit the like button with us. Like follow us. Just follow us and see what we're doing, because we're doing some really cool and amazing things. Sean has a lot of stuff going on outside of here with food and wine and all that. And I'm doing the same thing with books and wine and all that. So check us out, follow us. We're trying to build a community around wine lovers and food lovers, and we just hope that you guys kind of hang out and walk with us or jump in the car on the ride with us, because we're trying to ride into the sunset with this stuff. Just saying.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, so our handles, on Facebook and Instagram, Total Winos. You can find Jay. He's out there. Usually you'll see him on our tags. He does all kinds of wonderful stuff with publishing and other food-centric things and wine-centric things. He's on podcasts. He's been all over the second, he's a second-level sommelier, first and foremost. And he's helping other people really get into educating themselves and taking their first-level cert. So I'm not there yet. I'm just a regular wine guy. He's like, you're not a regular wine guy. I'm like, I am not. I'm okay.
Oh, man, get Mr. Vivino over there. Mr. Vivino. The new name.
Well, I like the Vivino. Yeah, so and I do like that app, and I promote it with people. I don't get paid by Vivino, but what I love about it is that if you're uncertain about a wine, once you understand your own palate and the things you enjoy, you'll see those descriptors in other wines. And, I was lucky enough to get a $50 bottle of Pinot. It's probably $60, $50 or $60 in other places. And we had it with family and friends and stuff. And so we shared it. And I'm so glad we had the opportunity to share it, because it was terrible. I am not going to say who it was. Yes, it was terrible. And, I might even given it a better rating than I should have on Vivino at 3 stars, but which is, it's like, I drink it again, but not buy it again.
Oh, you got to tell me what it is offline, man.
I will tell you what it is offline. And I was really surprised by it, because the ratings were much, much higher. Now, I might have had a bad bottle, but I don't think so. I think maybe the wrong juice got put in the bottle. Maybe somebody pulled a fat. I don't know.
I was like, somebody made out.
Somebody made out. Somebody made out. But hey, we want us to make out with these wine buys that we can find under 20 bucks. But even if
Yeah.
it's $50 or $100, we want to make sure it's an enjoyable experience, and that's why we do what we do. I mean, me and Jay, we like joy.
We do. We want to bring the world joy through wine.
We just want people happy.
For real. Also, if you guys haven't checked it out, I my book Fruit and Glass, I put it out 3 years ago. I actually got an audio book for it now. It's on most platforms. Just type in Fruit and Glass, and you should be Fruit and Glass, Wine Myths, Facts and Opinions, and you should be able to pull me up on most platforms now. It will be on Audible too in the next week. But everything else, like if you go to Google Play or other like audio book, I guess, platforms, it should be there. So check it out if you get a chance. It's really reasonably priced. And up to the 10th, whoever buys a copy gets thrown in a drawing. You get a free signed book. It's before the 10th of October. You get a free signed book, and then also on top of that, you can go to my my online store with my merch, and you can pick anything you want for under $30. So go whatever you want. It has to be one item, but one item under $30. You can get whatever you want on my online store. So check it out, and you'll enter in a drawing. I'm picking 4 names. So.
On a completely separate note, we should do that. Is do one of these shows where we just totally promote our merch like QVC.
I love it.
I'm just saying. Jenny's loving it in the background. Her eyes just lit up. She's like, "Yes, Sean, let's do it. I am all over it. I will get my own merch, and we will have like 100 different products to go, and we will do that. Wine merch aficionados. That's what we are. That's who we are.
More work I gotta do.
No, it's all complimentary. It's all complimentary. That's all. We only do complimentary things with complimentary people, and that's how we win.
Agreed. You got anything going on, man? Before we get out?
Oh my gosh, so many great things. So the big thing from a wine standpoint and forefront and food is, just as the world is still kind of, it's like, oh well, we're still in the school of thought where it's like, yeah, we want to eat outside dining, be socially distanced that way. Some people don't mind being in restaurants. Some do. One of my big things is I don't mind as much as my wife going inside a restaurant as long as the staff is all masked up. I figure if people are sitting down, there should be enough air circulating and things like that. We all want to be safe. We want to be appropriate. We want to respect people who are socially distancing more than us, and respect people who don't mind as much. So either way, it's we got a lot of joy to share, and we want to share it responsibly. So all that being said, that's what I got going on. And then I got my real estate stuff, which is completely separate shows. So
make that real estate money.
It's a weird time to do that. It's not easy. So and I think that's true with any industry, whether it be wine or the restaurant or food industry. It doesn't matter. Go to telecom, go to anything. It's not easy to break in and thrive. Even medicine. We've seen companies close down, and other ones are starting up. And there's definitely a shift that is happening right now, and we need to keep shifting a little bit quicker. So,
are you over there? Just a real quick,
Yeah.
Are you guys a seller's market over there too? Because I know everywhere else right now it's a seller's market like crazy in California. Like people are having to bid over $100,000 over the asking price for a lot of these places, and still losing the house. It's kind of been crazy in California.
I'd say it's been like that, especially in the hot tier of the Midwest. Now, the hot tier is probably the same hot tier relationship wise, where people are outbidding or losing houses that are in the affordable range. Now, the California affordable is different than the Midwest affordable. But here, that sweet spot is somewhere between. You can't find anything for 200,000 anymore, because then it'll get bumped up to 250. But even if you were, let's say, at 300, that starter home, it's been going for up to 50,000 more than you would normally expect to pay for it. And so if you think about it percentage wise, you probably see the same stuff in California. Now, when you get to the higher end properties, here would they require a jumbo loan at 600 plus or whatever. That's probably more of California's market, where it's like, oh yeah, they're still going to have bidding wars at that level under a mil. But when it gets over a mil, 1.5, that's when things kind of start tapering off. Same thing here. Once you get up above a certain level, you're seeing houses sit for plus 30 days. If they're too aggressive on the price, or if it's just something that it's like, I'm not gonna live there for that. It's I can't. There's no walkability factor. There's no easy commute. There's no amenities. Why would you pay extra for it? So
I hear you. Sorry, guys.
I went into my real estate diatribe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We talk about everything here, and I was just curious. That is interesting stuff to hear. I would love to go check out the real estate market out in Missouri just to kind of see what's going on. Everywhere I go, I travel, I always like to look at the real estate market stuff. That would be
now
cool.
on a fun real estate related wine side is that there's been Mr. Hoffman. He's been buying up a bunch of commercial properties and vineyards, and I know he's I think pulled at least 3 or 4 wineries, local wineries here just on the other side of the Missouri River. For me, and just really taking on the town. No, so for those who don't know him, he's the dude who developed Naples, Florida, which was once just a quiet little, Florida town, and now it's one of the higher retiree go-to places with, upscale housing and above. So it hasn't turned into that yet, but it's out in the middle of, rolling fields and very wonderful country settings like Napa is. And the things you love about sitting on a vista overlooking a vineyard, I've seen that all over the country. And it's just a matter of, wow, where can you find that experience? And where can you find it when it's not 90 degrees out? Because that makes it even more enjoyable.
It's hot out there.
It's hot, but it's you get used to it. So you can always throw on a jacket when you go out to Napa or Sonoma or Paso, anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Real talk. Well, let's go ahead and conclude this episode. I had such a great time with you guys, like as always.
I know. We always do.
We always do.
We always have a great time. That's why we love drinking together and sharing ideas, and certainly the love and appreciation for wine. So anything else for you, my man?
I think I'm good. I think I've said my piece. I think I've been
You're good.
Really
For now, you did.
Feeling good.
It's all happening. Well, like I always say, we may not see you in person, but we're always going to see you